the last hour, TV star Oduba has revealed that he has an addiction to pornography. And this is the very first time that he's talked about it. It's on Paul Carrick-Brunson's We Need to Talk podcast.
A year and a half ago, I was able to escape an addiction that had dogged me for nearly 30 years.
Less than, what was it, 8, 7 or 8? Wow, 9, okay.
That's when my addiction started, Paul. The reason that I felt like I needed to speak about this is because I wanted to be able to guide my own children when it comes to it.
I don't think anybody was expecting that. Journalist Ayesha, Hazarika and Elvin join me now. It is, do you know what? It's really good he's talking about this because it's a massive problem and young children these days are exposed to the kind of things that we never wear. You know, we just weren't. You know, it just wasn't part of your world, was it?
No, I mean, it would be sort of teenage boys looking at the K's catalogue kind of thing and sort of
things. Health and fitness.
Yeah, exactly.
Throwing
We're a
balls
long way from Kansas now in terms of... But it is really serious. And I look, I think this must be really hard for him to talk about and it could have a lot of repercussions for his career and things like that.
Absolutely.
So I think he is doing this and it will come at personal cost to him. But I think it's so important for men to talk out about this because we have a lot of conversations, rightly so, about women sounding the alarm bells in terms of what they're seeing with their sons and their daughters, because it isn't just young men. I think this kind of pornography is poisoning our society. It's poisoning young men and also young women in terms of what is expected of them in terms of violence and sex being something that causes pain to a woman. So I think the fact that he is a man in the public eye who's come out and talked about this, I think this is quite a big moment.
It really is, yeah. Apparently it's, you know, follows on from new laws coming into play where online porn showing strangulation or suffocation. And I feel like I've got to apologise because I think a lot of people listening probably wouldn't realise that these are now the baseline norms in a lot of things that children are being exposed to.
Unbelievable, isn't it?
It's being made illegal as part of the government's plans to tackle violence against women and girls. And they've said the change would make choking in pornography a priority offence under the Online Safety Act, putting it on the same level as child sexual abuse material. And this is the thing, it's like, obviously this is hugely damaging to girls because it's you know, it just completely changes the expectation in sexual relationships. But I also think that you're absolutely right, Ayesha. We need our fathers to talk to their sons about this. We need to try and somehow put that genie back in the box because I think that it's actually ruining intimacy for a lot of young men as well who can't form normal relationships.
No, you're right, because, I mean, you know, when I was a kid, you sort of fumbled your way together, you know, and there was love and there was respect. And of course, it was fun. It was fun. You know, this was the thing. Now there is no fun. There doesn't seem to be. To me, it's just absolutely tragic.
Sending nudes between teenagers is now apparently an accepted baseline requirement of quote unquote dating.
What? But I think you hit the nail on the head there when you said it's not fun anymore. This stuff, look, it's not always easy for young people to make their way in this kind of world and stuff. But I think what has happened now is something much darker. So often, you know, we're hearing, you know, we will all hear stories of kids as young as kind of 9, 10, getting, as soon as they get a phone. And there was actually a campaigning group who bought a kind of completely sort of new phone and they went on sort of different social media sites and they just clicked on a few things and they set themselves up to be like a boy, a young boy. And within literally minutes, they were getting kind of hardcore pornographic images. So it's almost like right from the get-go, when brains are still being formed at that very, very important age, they're being told that kind of sex is not something fun and a bit innocent and then it's something dark and quite violent right from the get-go.
Someone needs to be accountable for this. It's absolutely shocking that this is just allowed to happen.
This is what I don't understand. It's never been unregulated. And it's not
but
people
also
trying.
Yeah. I'll tell you who has a lot to blame. Chase the money on this. Who is making the money out of this, right? And I'm afraid we are in a situation where we have these tech bro overlords, these large, not exclusively men, but largely men who unseen, they're unaccountable, they make billions and billions, and they are the people controlling what our kids are seeing, and they're making a lot of money. They're completely unaccountable.
So many exposed to it. I mean, Ori goes on to talk about that. Let's hear what he has to say.
you hear that 60% of children are finding it accidentally, that it's cropping up on iPads, that societally, it's just so normal.
That's the word that absolutely chills me to the bone. It's normal.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's normal, that sort of...
And it may... Look, I think the genie is probably out the bottle.
Yeah,
but I
sadly.
think with politicians, media platforms like this, I'm afraid people in the technology sector as well, we have got a collective responsibility because something so dark, and I'd say depraved, is sort of stirring in our society. Right? You look at the rise in terms of violence and misogyny against young women and girls and older women as well. And also the unhappiness amongst a lot of men as well, because this is not good for them either. This is not what a normal, happy, kind of, you know, peaceful
100%.
relationship looks like.
And it's the way that he talks about an addiction. You know, I mean, an addiction that's a really strong word to use, but I mean, that's clearly something that, you know, you talk about addiction to heroin and addiction to booze and all of that.
It's just so relentlessly available. It's, you know, and I think that that dopamine hit must become harder to chase, and that's where the addiction comes from.
And he's saying he wants to talk about it for his children. That actually, like you said, this is going to have repercussions for him. Yeah. For his relationships, for all sorts of things.
I really hope it's met with compassion,
So do
because
I.
it's very brave,
So do
and
I.
it's a conversation that's well overdue.
Absolutely.
And particularly in a world where, you know, a lot of young men are being influenced by these really malign players like Andrew Tate and others. It is very good to see a man in the public eye stand up and talk about something, you know, different, and talk about the harm it's done him as well, and how he wants to protect the next generation.
9 years old.
9 that happened to him. It's crazy. I would like to see him explore this more. Maybe with documentaries, maybe, you know, with a campaign. I think he could do wonderful things. He could turn something that obviously is humiliating and embarrassing and destructive into something positive. We would hope.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you both. I mean, we were going to talk about the John Lewis advert because they've released their ad this morning. It's interestingly centring around relationships between a father and a son. Let's have a wee look at a bit of it. Yeah, we're saying it's the music that gets to you. Wasn't very Christmassy, I have to
Where's
say.
the jingle bells and the roast? And
I want jingle bells, I want Santa, I want Rudolph, I want all of it. I want noise and happiness.
It's interesting, it's a different view of masculinity, what we were just talking about.
Exactly.
But I don't know, I don't like this time of year when I'm just told to be manipulated and cry from a Christmas ad.
I feel
it's a Christmas ad.
Also just a bit, I know we're like, I feel it's a bit too soon. It's a bit too soon.
It's a bit too soon.
Really
I always
think
get November the 5th bonfire night out the way, and then it's a bit too soon. I agree. Absolutely. Thank you both very much. Thank you. Well, that's a wrap for this video. We hope you enjoyed it. We have all the best moments from the show right here on the channel, and if you like this video, then we think you'll love this one. See you next time.